My God. Oh, this is new. This is from right now. New, two senior House Democrats tell CBS they expect the question of Biden's candidacy to be resolved in 3 to 5 days. Each day of indecision will lead to more public calls for him to step aside. Of course, the caveat is, and always has been, the choice is totally up to Biden. That's true. At the end of the day, it is literally just Biden's choice. There's no one else who can decide to step down. It's crazy, man. Yep, Obama and Pelosi. Obama have made a direct push to remove or to encourage Joe Biden to remove himself from the race. Obama has said that his odds of victory have diminished considerably. Absolutely insane. We're getting an incredible number of leaks from the White House, almost certainly because there are so many people on the inside desperate to remove Biden. Absolutely insane. Did you see the Reuters article on Biden? Possibly. Link it. Biden is, quote, soul-searching about dropping out. Oh, 20 minutes ago. All right. All right. Okay. His soul-searching is actually happening. I know that for a fact, says one of the sources. He's thinking about this very seriously. I don't know how you can go through all of this and not drop out. Like, to indicate that you take these concerns seriously, but then not drop out would be a considerable weakness. Like, you're only weakening yourself by doing that. It seems to me like the only possible way forward is to just drop out. Lance made a solid observation here. Usually she says we or the president and I. Now she's just saying I. Wait, we need to get the we need to get the audio cue up. God help me if I don't get this soundboard. There we go. I have often challenged Trump and so-called leaders who say that an abortion ban is in the best interest of women and children, yet stay silent on maternal mortality. The hypocrisy sounds. That is true. That is a lot of I language right there. That is a lot of her. My God. Please make that a dono sound. That would be a very good, if unsettling, dono sound. How's Fox News taking this?
We have some breaking news here, and this is a pretty big one. And Marie Harf presaged this breaking news for us. Obama, this is according to the Washington Post. President Obama is telling allies that Joe Biden needs to step aside. Marie, I just have to come back to you for a moment, and then we'll go to you, Emily. Marie, the exact language is seriously consider his viability. You said 2 minutes ago, we're waiting to hear from Obama. Well, we're hearing from him through the pages of the Washington Post.
Yeah, I just got chills when you read that. You know, I worked for President Obama, as you know, and he has very good political instincts. He has throughout this process. He's also very cautious, though, Kayleigh. So throughout the days since the debate, he has stood by Joe Biden, but I think started to hear increasingly from people that believe there is no path for President Biden to win. And Barack Obama is...
That is true. This is one of the reasons why this is so significant. Obama normally is extremely hands-off. Unlike Clinton, he didn't seem to have any interest in being the, like, shadow puppeteer of the DNC after leaving the presidency, even though he absolutely could have. Now it seems he only occasionally steps in to offer support. And for him to intervene in this capacity, I mean, it's not like an errant decision, you know?
Still one of the elders of our party. And if he is now weighing in with Joe Biden on the heels of Schumer and Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries, it feels to me like we are very close to knowing that Joe Biden will no longer be the nominee. I don't know when that will happen. Of course, he has COVID and he'll be at home for a few days. But if Barack Obama is in fact weighing in, a very brilliant political mind who is very cautious at the same time, that feels like a sea change, Kayleigh.
Emily, the Washington Post, this is Michael Scherer. He's a serious reporter. He has good sourcing. I want to read from him directly. Former President Barack Obama has told...
Sorry if you already saw this. Yeah, I don't know how legitimate this is necessarily. It sounds like it's too definitive to be believable. Breaking news, multiple sources outline the apparent state of play on Biden at this time. Plans to announce withdrawal from nomination as early as this weekend, with Sunday most likely. John Meacham polishing up remarks. Biden will not resign presidency. That's not surprising at all. Biden will not endorse Harris. Open convention with Harris and about 3 others. So this is wild to me if this actually ends up being true, because my understanding is that the obvious play would be running with Kamala because she's already an accompaniment to the current administration. You could get her in without much drama. By opening up the convention, you would be facilitating a lot of drama, which would admittedly be a lot of free press, but at the same time could lead to a lot of division. This is how Bernie can still win. Yep, that's true. Again, I don't know. I don't necessarily know if this is believable. That bit makes this unbelievable to me. Yeah, the idea that, quote, multiple sources would have knowledge that they plan on running with an open convention, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, man, the momentum. People close to Biden say he appears to accept he may have to leave the race. One person familiar with Biden's thinking cautioned that he had not yet made his mind to leave the race after 3 weeks of insisting that almost nothing would drive him out. Of course, he'll publicly insist that. Folks, I have to say, pardon me for being a little misty-eyed liberal over here, but I have to say, if Biden actually does drop out after near unanimous pressure from within the DNC and they do end up getting another person ahead, this would be a rare but legitimate act of genuine anti-fascist pragmatism from a liberal party. Would it not be? You're overcoming a lot of institutional momentum to run ahead with something like this. Now, I think it should have happened way before. I don't think they should have run with the second term. I'm not denying the fact that they f***ed up here by even putting us in this position. But all that said and done, we're in the position we're in right now. You know, we didn't fall out of a coconut tree. We are beholden to, we exist in the context of all that has come before in existence and all that will come and do not come. And given those circumstances, it is a pretty pragmatic move. Oh yeah, fully DM, but it would be a lot of shit for sure. They would have taken a big poop on the floor and they would have cleaned up a lot of poop off the floor. I'm just saying, I didn't expect them to clean it up, you know? I've been an optimist on this. At no point like a month ago did I expect, after the debate, I did not expect things to come along this far. Could we have not have done this a year ago? Well, I mean, no, we can't go back in time. Will you stop calling liberals fascists if Dems allow open convention? I don't call liberals fascists. I say liberals enable fascism, which they already did by putting this guy through for a second term anyway. So not escaping those allegations, but I still think it's the right move. Mind you, I don't know how I feel about the idea of an open convention. I don't know. Would it get a lot of free press? Yes, but that's pretty... We're close, man. It also kind of signals a lack of faith in Kamala from Biden. You know? That he wouldn't endorse his own vice president. I mean, maybe he wants to come across as impartial. I'm just saying, like, you know, that's risky. You know what? It's gonna be good content. Gonna be good content, homie. Good-ass content. I'm skeptical there would be any major challenge to Harrison open convention. I guess it would mostly be about the free press that you'd get. This account is based on interviews with 4 people close to the president who all described the situation as extremely delicate and spoke in the condition of anonymity to avoid offending the president. Man. Play that audio again? Okay. It's all coming together, folks. Run from it, hide from it. You can't escape the context of all which came before you.
Allies in recent days that President Biden's path to victory has greatly diminished, and he thinks the president needs to...
I tell you, what is... I saw this on Twitter, okay? The most famous photo of Joe Biden as a young man, he's in front of coconut trees. Her plans are measured in centuries, even before Kamala Harris was born, weaving the threads of fate. You can't escape.
Seriously consider the viability of his candidacy. And here's the sourcing. Multiple people briefed on his thinking. This does not show up by accident, Emily. He has greenlighted, in my opinion, as someone who's worked in press, his aides to share this with the Washington Post.
Which is a crucial sea change, Kayleigh.
Who would her VP be? We do not know. We do not know who Kamala Harris's VP would be.
Actually, before, Marie, when you were talking about it, in my head, I was like, no, he doesn't need to come out and say it because he did it non-verbally. When he guided the president off the stage, he showed the world the president's frailty. He showed the world that Barack Obama was still the elder of the party. Although, Marie, that made me feel like I'm an ancient. But at the end of the day, we are now seeing the materialization of the apparitions. Right? Because prior to this, for example, as former Speaker Kevin McCarthy said, well, Pelosi controls everyone, right? So Schiff coming out and saying that meant Pelosi told him to do so. Well,
would she technically pick Biden for VP? Yeah, but I don't know why she would do that.
We have reporting that Pelosi herself is speaking face-to-face with Biden and saying it's time to give this arrest. So what we are seeing is those unseen hands that we knew guiding those forces, writing the letter for George Clooney.
Yeah, it needs to be Hunter Biden. That's the lesson we're learning here, is that we need young blood in the race, okay? Obama VP, that would also be legal. I wouldn't recommend it, but it would be legal. Actually, not gonna lie, Kamala Harris president, Obama VP ticket might actually just sweep the race. Purely on account of the fact that Trump would get really, really mad because he fucking hates Obama. He'd have like an aneurysm, you know? Obama can't be VP? Can he not? I thought the presidential term limits were only for the presidential term limits, even though the VP can be made president if the president dies. I won't debate the constitutionality of the subject. It's irrelevant. It's not happening.
Telling him to come out, all of those forces are all of a sudden now saying, I'm putting my name directly out there. That represents a fundamental current change. And I think at the end of the day, we are now seeing Biden against the world. You know, all those T-shirts that say Oakland against everybody, you know, Detroit versus everybody. It is now Biden versus everybody in his party. And we will see whether what's going on with him mentally, or that stubborn character he's always had, whether that will overcome reason, frankly, as these members of the party, as these influential...
Bernie Sanders would be an insane choice. The only problem is that Bernie Sanders is, like, as old as Biden. So even though Bernie Sanders is much, much less mentally cooked than Biden, it would just be like, why, like we jumped from one cooking pan into another, right? Obviously, like, Bernie still has the sauce and Biden doesn't, but how funny would that be, though? If it wasn't for the age issue, I do think that Kamala Bernie would be like an insane combo, though, purely because the moderate institutionalist Democrat could not help but vote for Kamala Harris, you know? And Bernie Sanders would do wonders sweeping up the like centrist, moderate, you know, more like libertarian leaning or leftist leaning, like, and just everyone who's like marginally at the periphery of the Democrats, but not like directly in the electorate. Yeah, the chances would be decent with any VP pick. I mean, if she selects a VP, the VP will need to be white, because Democrats may be anti-racist on paper, but let's not get overboard here, folks, okay? There's a reason Obama selected Joe Biden as his VP, the most white man in the Senate. You know, let's be reasonable here. They'll need to be white. They'll probably have to be a man for the same reason. In terms of their political leanings, Kamala Harris had a relatively progressive record as a senator, in spite of everything about her. She actually did. So I don't know if they would want to lean more moderate with the VP pick, or if they'd want to go a little bit more out there. I don't know. Fetterman. We've got it. It's perfect.
Thought leaders of the Democrat Party, the established party as it is today, make any kind of influence
would be a
on
good
the current
pick.
president.
That word you used, Emily, is the key word to me, stubborn. And here's what I'm interested in, Guy. It's widely known that Biden bristled when he was passed over by Obama and forgone as the potential Democratic nominee.
A double woman pick might be a good idea, though, considering the Roe v. Wade situation. That's actually not a bad point, though. The biggest weakness electorally for the Republicans right now is that the one big policy that they wanted to get through, they did, revoking Roe v. Wade. Having two women on the ticket might actually be like an insane power combo there. I don't know. Hillary? No, for that it would be Whitmer. That Whitmer would be like the other woman who would do the best there, probably. God willing, DM. Imagine Pete Buttigieg demolishing Vance in a debate. Pete Buttigieg actually could probably trash Vance in a debate. Pete Buttigieg, he imitates Obama. I've been watching him speak more. Has anyone watched some of Buttigieg's appearances at Senate, the Senate hearings, where he like tears into corporate reps or argues with some of those Republican reps? He actually does a pretty decent job, and he's not imitating Obama anymore. Now that he's not running for the presidency, he's not copying Obama's cadence. He actually does a pretty good job if he's not, you know, trying to be Obama. So I don't know, maybe. I don't know if America's ready for a woman and a gay man. I actually think a gay man has a better shot than a woman. Like, in terms of the stereotypes about both groups, there are a lot of latently sexist people, even on the left. And with regards to homophobia, which is still very, like, much a thing, it's not... I don't know. It's complicated. It's complicated. I don't think sane people actually care. Yeah, but we're talking about voters, so sane people are irrelevant in the discussion that we're engaging in right now. Buttigieg is pretty inoffensive as well. Yeah, he's not, like, gay. You know, look, he's gay. I don't necessarily know if he's queer, okay? Let's check in on Kamala. How are we talking these days?
In recent days, they've been trying to portray themselves as the party of unity. But here's the thing. If you claim to stand for unity, you need to do more than just use the word.
That's my president.
You cannot claim you stand for unity if you are pushing an agenda.
I will say she has one massive advantage up on Trump in the debates, and that is that she has whimsy. That's something that Trump can't handle, because Trump has a very, very fragile ego. The idea, can you imagine how he would handle being, like, laughed at by her? Like, she has, like, a lightness to her tone, I think, that would be difficult. Yeah, she's got, like, that lightly condescending energy. Yeah, not smug like Hillary Clinton, you know, like holier than thou or whatever, but lightly condescending in a funny way. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, how do you think, like, Trump would handle this? I think he'd lose his shit, personally. I don't know. I think he'd get really, like, bitter. I don't think he'd be happy with that one. I don't think he'd like that.
That deprives whole groups of Americans of basic freedoms, opportunity, and dignity.
That's true. I don't think that he'd be able to get under her skin that well.
You cannot claim you stand for unity if you are intent on taking reproductive freedoms from the people of America and the women of America. Trying to ban abortion nationwide as they do and restrict access to IVF and contraception as their plan calls for.
I mean, objectively, like 10 leagues above Biden right now in the ability to, like, convey a point, you know? She's also a former prosecutor who's really good at debating. It is true that, like, people might really eat up the prosecutor versus convicted felon narrative. Oh, I think this is the clip that I was thinking of with Buttigieg as, like, potential VP pick. We have to play audio to play audio. Why it was unmuted a second ago?
With you, because
well, the American people disagree. They do.
Well,
not.
no, the American people disagree with you because every year
They're
they
not
buy more EVs.
No.
Why do you think they're buying more EVs every year than before?
Because it was present the numbers, because every...
Sure, 1.2 million vehicles were purchased last year, and every single
how many
quarter...
of them were government?
How's that?
How many of them were purchased by the government?
Approximately 0.5%.
Of the number, you're saying...
Of the EVs, about 0.5% were purchased by the federal government.
The only reason why people are buying them is because of the subsidy.
Well, the subsidy makes them more affordable and helps people buy them. That's true.
Thank you. My time has expired.
Yeah, he's good at message discipline. Yeah, Pete is good at message discipline. Look, it's the unstoppable combo. You have Faye-like mirth and whimsy from Kamala Harris, in addition to an almost Shapiro-esque, like, message discipline, debate bro, like, young Democrat kind of Riz, you know? I don't know. I feel like there's some work here, you know? There's something can be done in this vein, I feel.
And Obama sided with Hillary Clinton. And Obama has tread carefully because he knows that if he goes out full court press, it could in fact cause Biden to be stubborn and retract into a corner. So it's interesting now this comes out publicly. It almost means maybe Biden's being defiant and Barack Obama thinks this is the only choice he's left with.
And we'll see if it works. I mean,
what can be unburned by what has been equals dumb catchphrase she has to. I don't know. It's a catchphrase. I think she said it like once. I think it's mostly a catchphrase to everyone else because it's very funny.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Oh, same jacket that we just saw her in.
You exist in the context of all...
No, she said it like 30 times. Oh, pardon me then for blanking that out of my memory. All right, you know what? I'm taking back what I said. Oh, it's the coconut bit she only said once. Okay. Mentally transposing them. I sort of associate the both. I stand by it.
In which you live and what came before you.
It's good.
Din of the pressure is deafening, and everyone is now lining up privately and publicly to try to push him out of the race. And it's possible that he will finally realize that the writing is on the wall and do what they all want him to do. It is also possible that he and a small group of people surrounding him say, we had a primary, we won it overwhelmingly, I'm the incumbent, all these people can...
Okay, here we go.
And just to cheer you up, I want to show you some more words of wisdom from the US Vice President Kamala Harris. She was speaking at the retirement ceremony for legendary civil rights campaigner, the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
And it is with this understanding, this vision, to see what can be unburdened by what has been.
Fair enough. But that phrase about seeing what can be unburdened by what has been, that sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it?
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know? What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be.
You know who else repeated the same phrase over and over?
By what
Bernie
has been.
Sanders.
What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
What we can see, what we believe can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened.
It's not word salad, though. I don't know why people pretend that it's like meaningless gibberish. The meaning of the phrase is pretty clear. You can say it's like annoying. It doesn't like not make sense. Yeah, she does say it every time. That's her Faye-like whimsy, you know?
Jawbone, but I feel like I can do this, and I'm not going anywhere. Because remember, Biden has to do nothing to become the nominee. He can sit in that basement and do nothing and become the nominee because of the inertia here. So if he is absolutely dug in and committed, all of this won't matter, but it very well might matter. The question there would be the timing, but I'm not foreclosing the chance that Biden comes out with a new statement saying, no, I'm the nominee, I'm not going anywhere. And if he were to do that...
I will say this, if Biden does, after all of this, commit to staying in the race, I think that that makes the race a foregone conclusion. With this level of insecurity within the DNC being followed by him continuing to stick it, that would be like, I think that would be it. Like it would literally be him like dragging the country down with him. Yeah. Again, like I can't guarantee anything. I just like the level of public doubt that has been expressed at this point is campaign ruining in and of itself, you know? Even without his debate performance, like at this point, the momentum is just too strong. He has to drop out.
Then what? What do they do next?
Yeah. Harris, and to that end, there's reporting that the delegates are being called by Biden's team saying,
of course they
are you still with us?
Yeah, of course they are, because President Trump told me this on Saturday. Biden controls the situation because of the delegates, because it's much the same for Trump. And so he was kind of explaining that. He said, so it has to be his decision, which is where Nancy Pelosi 10 days ago or so.
My cat just tried to eat you on my phone. Thank you for the update. Like unironically, thank you. That's delightful.
So began the conversation. We want it to be up to him should he decide, but then everyone kept saying, but if he does, we're ready to, talk about his just amazing decades of experience and service, so on and so forth, but then support him in his decision to leave, which was not exactly gentle, but it didn't kick him out the door. Like, you don't have to go home, but you got to leave. So.
All right. I don't think they have any more insight in this that I can't offer myself.